Well, hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of the 11 Bang Bang channel. I'm your host, Ethan Woods, and we're finally getting around to it, guys. We've been waiting for it for a long time. I know you guys have already seen this gun, but we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna sight in our new Kibler Woodsrunner, AKA Old Sweet Lips. So let me go ahead and walk you through what we're gonna do. We're gonna do what's called a ladder test. We're gonna start out at a square load, which this being a 50 caliber will be a 50 grain charge of 2F. And then we're gonna bump it up by 5 grain to 10 grain intervals, whatever we feel is necessary at that time. We'll go until we get our best group. The goal here is to get the best accuracy we can with basically the least amount of powder. But let's go ahead and let's start getting our ladder test set up. We will be shooting here at 50 yards from the bench. Let's go ahead and let's start loading her up. We're gonna start with, like I said, a 50 grain charge. So I've got my powder measure set here to 50 grains. 2F. Get that down the barrel. Toss that. Then we're gonna have to do something I don't do very often. Get a patch from this patch box, and I've lubed this patch box up with some beeswax. It was a little stiff at first, but yeah, it pops right out. And we've got pre-lubed patches, actually, if I can get one of them out of here. Here it is. So these patches are lubed up with some of Blackie Thomas's gun butter, and I'm just gonna go ahead. I'm gonna place that on the top here, retrieve myself a 50 caliber round ball, and put the sprue on top. These are cast out of solder, so they're very, very soft. And we're gonna go ahead and press that in there. And we may need a ball starter. These patches are a little bit thick. Get our ball starter. I eventually want to get a coning jig for this and cone the barrel out, just because I like loading or shooting more than I like loading, really. Take our rammer, get very nice little strokes to get that ball down. Yeah, these are 0.2 patches, so it might be a little tight. All right, go ahead and replace our rammer. And we will prime and shoot our first 3-round group. All right, 50 yards. Let's take our first shot with Old Sweet Lips here. 50 grain charge. Very little recoil. All right, round 2. Probably helps if I put it on full cock. Ready? All right, round 3. All right, so 50 grains might not be where we're at because first shot, second shot, third shot. This rifle, no recoil with this load, so I am not flinching. I'm literally watching the flame go out the end of the barrel. Every single one of those was held right inside that circle. So this is the load, this is not me. If it's me, guys, if I feel like I flinch, we won't count that one and I'll reshoot the shot, but this is the load. So we're gonna bump it up a little bit. All right, guys, we have bumped this up to 60 grains, so 50, 60. We've taped up the holes. We're gonna go ahead and try and hold in the same spot. So here we go. Okay, here's our second group, which is actually, it might be a little worse than the first one, I'm not sure. But first shot, second shot, third shot. So yeah, we're gonna tape them up and we're gonna move them up another 10 grains. Let's go to 70, 50, 70. All right, everything's same as the last 2 rounds, except for this time we're shooting 70 grains. 50, 70. Still not a whole lot of recoil. All right, here's our third group, 70 grains. First shot, second shot, third shot. So it actually opened up quite a bit with 70. So I'm gonna go ahead and we'll bump her up some more and see if it maybe closes, tightens up a little bit. All right, 80 grains. All right, I don't know which one's which, but this is our group now. And as you can see, 80 grains definitely tightened it up. So yeah, we're getting there. Let's go ahead and we're gonna bump it up to 90 and see if that helps any. All righty, let's try this again. 90 grains, actually for the first time. By Jove, I think we got it. All right, so this is our 90 grain charge. Don't mind that little guy right down there. He don't count. That was a mistake on my part. I accidentally loaded 85 grains instead of 90 on one of these, so he don't count. But 90 grains, first shot, second shot, third shot, we're shooting about 1.5 inch group here. We're gonna go ahead and bump it up to 100 and see if that doesn't even tighten down a little bit more, or see if it opens up. If it starts to open up again, we'll know that we'll go back to our original loading and that will be where we're at. All right, 100 grain charge. The recoil is starting to pick up a little bit. Okay, so here's our 100 grain group. As you can tell, it opened up a little bit. We got 1, 2, and 3. Actually, 1, 2, and 3. Yeah, this opened up just a little bit. Still a fairly respectable group. However, I did notice a pretty significant recoil difference between even 90 and 100. So I think 90 grains is what this rifle is gonna like, guys. All right, let's go ahead and confirm our group at 100, and we're also going to be now sighting it in. And we noticed we were shooting a little low, so I went ahead and I took off 5 swipes with a file on that front sight to kind of bring it up a little bit. So let's see what we do here. Yep. Alrighty, let's see what that one looks like. All right, we gave her 30 swipes with a file this time, just because it was shooting so low and our last group only moved up about 1 inch. So, here we go. Let's try that again. All right, guys, we're gonna go ahead and group now. Sorry about that. It's just we had to fire so many rounds to get this thing on target, because if you couldn't tell, that is how much front sight we have left to get this thing hitting a little high at 100, which is kind of what I was wanting to do in the first place. So let's go ahead and let's put some more rounds on target and see how we group.
All right.
Yeah, so
we want our barrel to go back left.
yeah, that'll work because that burr's not working against us now, so.
See what you got.
All right, so we shot a lot of lead today, guys. Yeah, we started down here and we shaved this sight all the way down to there, basically working our way up here to this, and then we scooted it over a little bit. And this was basically our final groups here. You can see we actually had 3 touching right there, 1 hitting there. That one was an earlier one, so.
These over here, the 21 and 22, those were just balls we tried to use that we knew were not good.
Yeah, so
really
basically though, what we found is, and mind you, yeah, we were using kind of junk balls by this point, but
and it is 100 yards.
Yeah, and this is 100 yards. We got 3 balls touching at 100 yards, so that's pretty decent, and it's only about 1 inch away from the bullseye, so I'm okay with that, because I plan on shooting this rifle against a certain pattern 1776 in the upcoming years. There was actually a test done between a rifle similar to this one and the pattern 1776 in England, and the results to that test were lost. So I would like to kind of reconstruct it myself. Anyhow, guys, that's about all I got for you today. Thank you for watching. Trust in God and keep your powder dry.